Welcome to Quick Shots, a short format traditional archery podcast, where we introduce you to some of the world's most influential traditional archers, and occasionally, some random dudes.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be.
Welcome back to Quick Shots. I'm your host, Mick Chambers, and in this episode, I get to sit down with Flea, a truly unique and fun traditional archery content creator. I'm smitten, and you will be too by the end of this podcast. So without further ado, hit it. Hey everyone, how you doing? Okay, welcome back to another episode of Quick Shots. I'm your host, Mick Chambers, and I'm here with Flea today from Instagram, or St. Fatty Lamb Hands. How you doing, Flea?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm so excited to talk to you. This is amazing. I've been following you and been, I guess, stalking. I don't think stalking is the right word, but let's say following. We'll go with following you for a while because I love the fact that your personality and who you are. But I've been following you, but maybe some of our viewers or some of the listeners have not. Do you mind give us a little bit of an introduction and give us your origin story in traditional archery?
Well, hi, y'all. I'm Flea, and my traditional archery journey started probably about 5 years ago, where I just kind of wanted 5 years ago. I just wanted something to do. Like I wanted something kind of competitive because deep down, I have to admit, I'm a super competitive person. And so I wanted something competitive, and I kind of like the idea of a weapon also. I know. And so I was looking for either skeet shooting or archery, and I found an archery class first. So the first class I took, I just fell in love with it. And they were teaching me on a compound bow. And, you know, it was interesting. I liked like the power of a compound bow. I thought that it was kind of fun. But as soon as I tried my first trad bow, I never touched another compound bow. Like I was hooked. There's something about that, like primal simplicity of a bow, like a trad bow, that just really, really appeals to me. And so I've been shooting that, I guess probably like 4.5, 5 years. And I haven't looked back.
Do you? What part of the country are you in?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina, awesome. Okay, cool. And you know, it was interesting. Some of the stuff you dove into it, like you said. You really, really did dive into traditional archery. I haven't even been to an ETAR, but you've been to one. Why don't you talk a little bit about? Fun. Has it been one or two, or has it just been?
I've been twice.
Twice. Okay. How about you tell us? I mean, do you mind kind of telling us that
story? No, I don't want it all. ETAR is literally my favorite archery event ever. And it's funny because I do like to compete and I do enjoy like the environment of competing. But ETAR, there's no scores. Like you don't compete at all. It's just this huge gathering of traditional archers and there's this amazing courses. I think there was like 6 usually. And they're set up really thoughtfully and they're hard shots. Like it's not easy like open lanes or anything like that. They're far shots and they're just really tricky. And the whole thing about having all these people that are all there for one thing is just amazing. And everyone there is super into archery. And, you know, I shoot left-handed. And so I don't get to try a lot of bows. But when you go, you see like these lefties and they're like, try my bow. And so I will. And so it's so fun. And it's just the camaraderie. And I can't think of a way to say this without sounding like I think I'm awesome. But like when people recognize me from like YouTube or Instagram, it does my heart so good because like I'm getting traditional archery out there and people like know that that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm honestly quite passionate about it.
Now I want to unbox that a little bit because, okay, so being on YouTube and being on Instagram and people knowing you in the trad community, because we're a small community, right?
Yeah.
Did you find, and please answer me honestly, did you find that the target was a lot smaller when people knew who you were? Or did you find that you used that energy to be much better archer?
Oh, Lord, no. You know, I actually really struggled with that in the beginning. Being on social media, like, and then once you get out there and people start to recognize you, there is that pressure. And it kind of, years, like maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it got to me, and I kind of felt like I had to live up to this expectation that other archers would see me and expect me to be like this badass archer, which if you know me at all, you know I'm not a badass archer at all. But in my mind, I felt like I had to live up to an expectation, and it kind of like tumbled into becoming target panic. And it was like this thing where I had like this performance anxiety. And I've always been really careful to present myself honestly and, you know, show the bad shots and show, like, just be really honest about the fact that I'm a mediocre archer. I love archery, but I am not good. So I try really hard to be honest about it. And so once I overcame that hurdle of worrying about people's expectations of me, it became really fun. And now I don't, you know, people see me miss and they're like, yeah, that's what you do. And so I'm a lot more okay with it. But if people recognize me, there is a little bit of pressure not to suck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just embrace it.
Do you feel like you are a role model for women getting into archery, or in general? I mean, personally, here's all I'm going to tell you how I feel. I feel like you are a role model for traditional archery, period. But do you feel like there's that extra bit of energy that you're giving to the women of archery, women that want to get into the sport? Is that kind of
so?
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I genuinely hope so. Like in my area, there's very few women that shoot traditional archery. There's a good amount of compound archers, and a lot of my archery friends are compound archers in this area. And then, you know, barebow's picking up a lot too. And but trad archers, there's not that many in this area. And I would love to see a lot more women involved in traditional archery.
Yeah, I mean,
and I hope, you know, I would love it.
I would too. I would too. And it's another reason why I'd love to have you on here. I mean, honestly, when I see you shoot and when I see you having that much fun, I feel like we're kindred spirits, because I want to have fun every time I shoot. I want to have fun every time I'm doing something. And there are these guys that are stoic archers, and they're just like, I get up to the thing, I draw back, I shoot, and then I go into the next target. It's like, yeah, you're missing the point of archery, dude. You know. And then I love seeing when you hit your fence, and I love all these shots. If you haven't checked out her Instagram, Flea on Instagram, there's some really great videos. Now, hey, listen, can I ask you? Are you? I want to talk about your equipment here. So let's kind of segue into that. So what are you currently? What's your current bow? Your favorite bow? Because I have a feeling you're a lot like me, where you got a couple different bows you like to shoot. Oh, and hi, who's that?
This is Crow, and sorry, I warned you. There might be a dog explosion. So my current bow, my heart, this bow that I love, is a striker, and it's a striker stinger. It's the Grizzly Gem edition.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can remember when I first started shooting trad, I went shopping for a trad bow with a friend to this weird little garage place out in the middle of nowhere that had a lot of used trad bows. And this guy had a striker, but it was right-handed. But I saw that striker and I was like, this is the unicorn bow. This bow is beautiful. And I'd never even shot it because I couldn't shoot it. And so years and years, I've always wanted a striker, but it's a little bit out of my price range. You know, being a beginning archer, you can't really justify spending a little bit more on a bow. Right. And so when my friend Jim Kent, Grizzly Jim, not to like name drop, but you know, he's a good friend of mine. And when he told me he had this deal with Striker where they were going to do a signature series bow, I was like, well, that's the universe saying buy this bow. Yeah, I'm supporting two businesses that I love. I love Jim and I love Striker. And so I got this Striker Stinger, Grizzly Jim, and that thing, it shoots like no other bow I've ever shot. So I love that bow. So I'm shooting that primarily, and when I'm feeling a little crazy, I break out the Bickerstaff English longbow, which I'm really into that bow too, but it's a lot harder to shoot and I'm terrible at it, but I love that bow as well.
Okay, I'm going to stop you just a little bit and say, again, you're not terrible. I love how you're self-deprecating. That's great. And that's a sign of a person who could be a great mentor in the sport. But when I see you shoot and when you draw back, you're silky smooth. You've come a long way in your archery, trad archery for sure, for sure. So anyone that's listening, don't listen to her. I think it's fake news. She's giving us some fake news that she's not a good shooter.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't work at it. I work hard. Like
You
I
look good.
try. I work. Like you had Alex on here.
Yeah.
And Alex and I are friends, and he actually asked me if he could coach me some. And I'm open-minded about a lot of stuff. And so I was like, sure. And so Alex changed my whole form, and Alex will work you like a dog. And so he worked a lot with me before Lancaster, and it changed my form a lot. It changed my outcome. I was really happy with things, but I don't intentionally say, oh, I suck thinking that I'm good, but I know I have to work, and I have to work hard at it. And so I never want to come across as being something I'm not, but I try really hard to be good.
That's good. No, that's good. And that's a good lesson for people to learn and understand that trad archery is not something like riding a bicycle where you can stop for a little while and then get back on and go, oh, I'm going to continue to shoot, pie plate sizes at 20 yards. It's just not going to happen. You got to continually work on. For you, shooting an English longbow, that is a tough row to hoe, because that is not an easy bow to shoot. What's the weight on that?
That one is 40 pounds.
Still, yeah, that's and what on your striker?
The striker's 35 pounds.
Okay.
So when I my first trad bow was 35 pounds, and then I got a Timber Creek Cottonmouth, and that bow is a work of art. I love that bow. I even have a tattoo of that bow. But that bow, I got it at 45 pounds, and it took me a long time to finally admit that I was overbowed. It was just too heavy. I could never get my shoulder down. And so I still have that bow. I shoot it periodically, but I can't shoot a lot of it. So 35 pounds I've found is just right for me. And so I've compensated by the lighter bow weight to have lighter arrows. And I feel like I have finally right now have a good combo.
Oh, that's good. And what arrows are you shooting?
I'm shooting the gold tip ultralights, 600s, and we cut them down just a little bit. And I shoot the little teeny gateway 2-inch fletchings, and I do a 4 fletch on it.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you make all your own arrows and stuff like that?
Oh God, no. So the local archery shop was making them for me, and ever since COVID, I'm not getting out much, and so I decided that I was gonna make my own arrows, and so I have acquired all the arrow marking equipment. I've just yet to even open the box. So yeah, and right now, like, I'm just shooting in my yard, so I'm not really losing arrows like I usually do. So I don't really need any right now. But eventually my goal is to make my own arrows.
Yeah, it's not that intimidating, and that's actually kind of fun. And if you take a look at some people, they make it an art, right? I mean, I'm a little creative, but not like some of these people that, paint their arrows and stuff like that.
Right.
There's some beautiful stuff out there. So you'll get into it. You'll love it. You'll love it. And it's not that hard. Hey, so speaking of, Andy was helping you out, right? With your Alex was helping you out with your shot process.
Alex, yes.
So what did he tell you, and what have you incorporated, and what kind of advice can you give others on, what were some of the major tips there?
So the big things that Alex had me do, he was really, so I used to do a swing draw where I would just come up and, and come to anchor as I was drawing. Yep. And he really wanted me to bring my arm up first and then draw. And that helps a lot with back tension, where you get a much better back tension that way. And however, I cannot do that with the Bickerstaff, the English longbow. I have to swing draw just because it's heavier and harder to draw. But so that was a huge change, was doing that. And he also just kind of changed my body. Like he had me turn my body a little bit at an angle, tuck my butt before I shoot, so that I have a tendency to kind of sway my back when I draw. And so if you tuck your butt, it kind of unsways your back.
Yep.
And so he talked to me a lot about that, and a lot about release. My release, he worked a lot with me on that. Like, I would send him videos and he would send me videos back. And so, having a coach in Canada.
Canadians, they're friendly people. Hey, so take me through a little bit of what you're thinking when you when you start your shot cycle? Like take me through that whole process.
Okay, so I shoot instinctively, so I don't do any kind of like guessing how far the target is or anything like that.
Okay.
Or not, what's it called? Gap shooting. I don't do anything like that. So when I'm looking at the target, I stare at it for a little while, and then I bring my arm up, just letting my brain kind of tell me where my arm needs to go. And then I come back to anchor, and hopefully I settle. Sometimes I don't, but hopefully I settle long enough. I have a big problem where I let my bow arm move too much. So if I can settle long enough and then kind of do the back tension where I'm naturally releasing instead of letting go with my hand, I do enough back tension where it just naturally pulls it.
Mm-hmm.
That's ideal. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of times I just kind of do it and then I shoot. But the perfect shot is where I settle long enough that my bow arm has stopped moving. That's my Achilles heel, is letting my bow arm move.
Okay, so when are you having is that a form of target panic, you think, that when you get here you don't settle and you just continue through? Or is there something that you can, or is it just a mental thing for you?
I think it's just bad habit. When it was target panic, I would do that. Like I would snap shoot really badly. And not even like I'd realize afterwards that I hadn't even been looking at the target. And so, but now it's just bad habit that I need to break.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the journey, right? That's, when you get going.
Yeah, archery is so humbling. That's one thing I love about it so much, is that like, if you even think that you're doing really well, all of a sudden there's something that, oh, you were doing that good, but maybe you need to look at this now. So for me, I don't know why, like, but there's something that is so pure about like just the suffering of it. You're just like, I thought I was doing good, but now I got to work on this. And I just really like that it's a constant
suffering, constant suffering. Yeah.
Constant suffering and pain.
Like, I love it because it's suffering. It's so good.
Yeah. I like to really, really hate what I'm doing. But no, obviously I love it.
Tell us a bit about your French fry addiction too. That's I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I just have a thing, like, so I'm the hugest food snob ever. Like, I like, really nice food. I like organic stuff, but I have a thing about French fries where I love them so much, and I'm really picky about them. Like, I don't like to eat the pointy ones, and I don't like the ones with the skin all over them. Like, the perfect French fry is a Belgian fry. Have you had those?
No, I don't think so.
I think if you imagine, like, like Wendy's fries look, they're like a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And so if you took a Wendy's fry and actually made it delicious, then that's like a Belgian fry. Like Wendy's, I will totally poo-poo on Wendy's. I don't think they're that great.
Oh, you're gonna get us killed on social media. Those guys are relentless on social media.
Brutal. Okay, I have to give them props for their social media, but sorry, Wendy's.
Yeah, they are really good. So where do you find Belgian fries, or do you make them?
So there's a place in Raleigh that has really good Belgian fries. It's just different restaurants and stuff. You just got to cast around and look. Like, I will eat French fries any place and give them a try. And when I find the really good ones, I'll go back. But fast food fries, I think Bojangles is the best fast food fries. Do y'all have those there?
No, we don't all have that. No, I don't know what a Bojangles. No, I do, because I've been to Raleigh a bunch of times. Yeah. We have an office in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow. Well, come say hi next time.
I'm not gonna. I'm lazy. No, I'm kidding. I will.
I'm a huge introvert. So, like, that's like the really funny thing is, like, social media is gold for me because I can interact with people and not interact with people. So
you think you're an introvert? Is that what you think?
Around human beings, like actually with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like ETAR. Like I said, I love ETAR, but at the end of the day, I have to have like that downtime where being around that many human beings, I have to like unwind and like recharge. Like, I can't, like, people are always like, why don't you camp at ETAR? I'm like, I can't even imagine. Like, I'd never get away from the humans. Like, I love people, but like, I need some time to like just recharge. It's hard.
No, that I get it. I hate people too. So I'm not. No.
Well, I like them. I just don't like to be around them.
I think I find that hard to believe because, like I said, you were at, like you said, you're at ETAR. You're so friendly. You're easygoing. You have a great personality and a fun personality for one. I'm sure people like being around you. I guarantee people like being around you. So,
Well, I do, like I said, I do like people,
Mhm.
but sir, you must. I think that I do like people. I too much people too long is very draining for me. And
Yeah.
it's not like I don't like, it's not like I'm angry or don't want to be around them. It's just, it really is emotion, like just exhausting for me to be around people that long.
Hey,
But I like people. I like them a lot.
hey, Flea, what's the next stop on your trad archery journey here? You think?
Gosh, I don't know. It's been such a hard year for me
Yeah.
because with COVID, and I know that like people are shooting and there's events going on, but I have asthma and sometimes it's really bad and I just can't take the chance. You know, I can't go out. Like I can only control my own environment. Like if I go out to shoot, you know, I can't take the chance that other people, you know, someone could be asymptomatic and I'd be close to them. So
You,
not to go
you
down
don't
that
have to.
road, but
You don't have to explain it. We get. I think everyone gets that. I mean, you have to be cautious, especially if you have
yeah.
a pre-existing
Makes me so
condition.
sad though. Like I had such big plans this year. Like I really wanted to go to that shoot in California that the word is not coming to me right now.
Oh yeah.
Reading.
Reading.
I had already, you know, planned on going to Reading and, you know, I was going to go to a couple of ASA shoots. So nothing, like nothing. I have no plans right now. And that kills me because I love to travel. I love going out and doing things, but
You said you went to Lancaster last year.
I did. I
And how was
did.
that experience?
Oh my gosh. I used to think I didn't like indoor archery. And I just really wanted to challenge myself because like I hadn't come indoors for years. And even in the winter in the off season, because usually I shoot 3D. And in the off season, you know, I would just entertain myself out in the woods. And so last year I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna challenge myself a little bit and do this indoor game. And I freaking loved it. It was so fun.
Really?
And yeah, it was, Lancaster was an amazing experience. And then I also shot a couple other, like I shot the USA indoor, the state and local and some other, like I shot a lot of other indoor things building up to Lancaster. So I'd be ready for it.
Yeah.
And I had a blast. Like I got my butt kicked, but I had a really good time. I mean, because there's not a trad division, but there's a barebow division. So I shot in the barebow division.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you know Mo. So Melissa, you
Yeah.
interviewed her. She and I were there together, and we were a couple of the trad archers in the barebow division. It was so great. Like, and I was so proud of all the women that showed up for that. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's growing every year, you know, and mad props to you guys. I mean, going into the barebow division, that is the toughest division. I mean, it is really, really strong. It's a hard game, that 18-meter game for barebow. I'm lucky here. I've got 18 meters in my basement. I can shoot that.
Oh yeah,
So I get a lot of practice, and I can't walk by my bow without shooting something.
that's cool.
And you know, when you get stuck on a conference call, and in between conference calls, you can just grab your bow and go. But people who are shooting that with laminated wood bows, I'm just so like, I just don't have that kind of courage.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But there's really good people that are doing it. And there's people who listen to this podcast that actually want to be. I've talked to people. I was at the barebow boot camp I keep saying it, but I was at barebow boot camp
That was going on.
in Ohio, and so there was people there that are shooting gap and shooting traditional gear, and they want to compete they want to win Lancaster in the barebow division. They want to win it, they 100% are thinking that they have the opportunity to do that. So I think that would be really interesting. It's interesting to see, you know, how these people do and that shoot that way. And I like to shoot that way too myself. Now I do have a barebow, and I'm going on this sort of barebow journey to get to Lancaster. Kind of that's my deal right now on YouTube. But I love, like, when I see you shoot, and I see you shooting English longbow, and I see you shoot that beautiful striker bow. By the way, this is not sponsored by Striker today, but
No,
Parker's the Jim.
striker.
Here's the Jim Coffee.
That's right.
As we sip our
The strings.
coffee and strings, and Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen it, Flea broke cut a Grizzly Jim string. I hurt my heart when you did that. That was like a couple weeks ago. Or
Yeah, that was an older. Yeah, that's a.
is that an older video? I might
I
get.
think it was a couple of months ago. Yeah, I had pestered Jim for a new string because I needed the serving was too thick on the strings that I had, and he's a busy man, you know, and I kind of used friend. I was just kind of like, I need this new string, so he like rushed it to me, and then I just cut it, just because that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
But then he sent me
In
another
the
one.
package, you cut the string.
Yeah, I cut the package and the string because I'm a champ.
No, that was pretty good.
But you know what? When you were at the Barebow, what's it called? The Barebow workshop
Boot camp, yeah.
boot camp. Did you meet John Winker?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So John Winker, I need to give a little shout out. So First Flight Archery is my local archery shop, and John Winker owns that.
Yeah, and he just won indoor nationals last weekend.
I saw that on the Facebook. So yeah, I was very proud of him.
Yeah, he's quite the machine, I will tell you right now.
He is, yeah, he's quite the archer. I've shot with him, like practiced a lot for Lancaster with him, and he has a numbers brain, which is, I think, to do barebow, I think that's kind of like it's math archery to me. And he has that perfect like math archery brain. And I've watched him just start to destroy it. So I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, he's an engineer by trade.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, I got a chance to meet with him. He was one of the mentors. Winker had a great, you know, he told us he basically stood up in front of everyone and said, "Indoor nationals, sorry, man, I'm going to win it."
Good for him.
Because he needs, he thrives on that energy. He thrives on that. You know, negative or positive, like, sure, whatever, dude, you're going to win it. That's fine. Yeah. You know, like, no, I'm going to win it, you know? So it was really cool to see him win it and pull off the win. So I was pretty impressed.
Very proud of him.
He walks the walk.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason I thought he was in Virginia, but yeah. Okay. North Carolina.
He's in Raleigh.
Oh, really? Okay, good. And he's got a great shop there.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
There's lanes and stuff like that. Obviously he shoots there and so
we have an indoor range.
How far away is that for you? Is it an hour drive or something like that? Or is it easy?
It's a bit of a hike for me. It's a little bit closer to where I work, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't even been there. Like, it's just.
What's now? What do you do for a living? Do you mind me asking?
I am a practice manager of an animal hospital.
Say what? You're what?
I'm a veterinary practice manager.
Okay, I don't know what that means. I know veterinarian.
So it means that, you know, like there's managers.
Yeah.
And I manage an animal hospital.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're the manager of that hospital. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. So you get to see a lot of cool animals and.
Yeah, it's cats and dogs. They're pretty cool.
Well,
we're a small animal, so we just do cats and dogs. Like, you know how I know you had Mo on here, and she oh good, let's all do this. She works with exotics, and so I never get to see exotic stuff. I just see cats and dogs, but I like cats and dogs.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. And you want to just, so your nickname Flea,
right? Which is super odd, like for an animal hospital.
How did you get this nickname Flea?
It's so dorky. When I graduated from high school, I lived with two other girls, and their names were Chris and Sherry. So it was Lee, Chris, and Sherry, and we called each other Fleabag, Pissy, and Scary. And Fleabag stuck, and it just got shortened, and literally everyone knows me as Flea. Like, I'm a grown-ass woman, and I refer to myself as Flea, and that's just how it is.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. People call me Mick. My name's Michael. Hey, is there anything, just as we're closing up here, is there anything that you want to tell us that maybe people don't know, but that you'd like people to know about you?
About me? I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of an open book. Like, you know, Instagram, I let it all hang out. Like, it's just.
That's okay. That's all right.
Dressed up in a hot dog suit periodically, and
I was trying to get to the hot dog suit. So what is up with this hot dog suit on Instagram?
It's like, so I have this just sick obsession with hot dogs. Like, I just really I have hot dog art. I have like just all sorts of random hot dog things, And I've been a vegetarian most of my life, but I just have this thing about hot dogs. And I can tell you exactly where it started was my mother and I were on vacation at this in South Carolina, and there was this restaurant called Swanky Frankie's, and the hot dog on the t-shirt that you could buy had a top hat and spats on. And I started thinking about it, I was like, isn't that weird how almost always when you have a hot dog, it's anthropomorphized? Is that the right word? Well, made human, like it's always wearing a top hat.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, why? And then I just got kind of fascinated and started collecting hot dog stuff. And now I just have like this hot dog museum at my house, and I have a hot dog suit that, like, you know, I like to break out periodically. And that's my YouTube thing. I love to like periodically do like an Easter egg of the hot dog suit showing up.
This hot dog thing is worse than I thought it was. That's way better. I mean, way better, way better. I had no idea.
It's weird.
I don't like to call people weird, but
It's a weird one. I'll admit it.
if the bun fits, it's just, I'm just telling you. See, I love, like, I have a weird love for hot dogs too. Like, I love them. Like I wouldn't get hot dog art or anything like that, but man, I keep hot dogs in my fridge, and you can dress them up with all kinds of, you can put whatever, they can taste any way you want. I love the taste of them anyway. So I'm a big Frankfurt guy.
So when you come to Raleigh, obviously you do the Carolina dog, the chili slaw mustard.
I would love to, but no one's taking me to any of those places. They try and give me barbecue when I get out. I'm like, I'm from Kansas. Why were you trying to give me barbecue? Like, I'm such a barbecue snob. I'll be honest with you.
Well, okay, you know.
No,
I don't know
I mean, you could say it. You want to? Is this a challenge? I feel a challenge coming on about barbecue.
I don't know much about barbecue.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I know about barbecue sauce because I will, as a vegetarian, I will eat it on things, but I don't know much about barbecue.
Now, do you like that North Carolina barbecue sauce?
The
Like
vinegar based, absolutely.
I kind of, if no one from Kansas is listening to this, I kind of do like that too.
That's a little pressure there, buddy. What do you have there? Is it mustard?
No, it's a very sweet. It's all sweet. It's kind of like, it's like eating candied. I don't eat barbecue a lot in Kansas because it's like eating candied food. It's like you just put sugar on top of ribs, you know. It's and then spicy, and you know, you add spices to it and stuff. But I do like the vinegar based every so often.
I think,
and I like to dip my fries in it.
Yes.
And put it on hot dogs.
Yes. Approve.
Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for chatting with us. That was amazing getting to know you. So I want to thank all our listeners. And if you get a chance, check out Flea on Instagram, of course. She's awesome. I cannot say enough good things about it. Makes me smile every time I check her Instagram and she's posted something. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. So it fits my persona very well. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And don't forget to share this and hit like, subscribe if you can. We appreciate you. Until we talk again, have an awesome week and be safe. Thanks, everyone.